Hi there. See that? You want to see me make that? Alright, here you go. Alright y'all, I hope you're having a good day today. Welcome to my Drawing a Moon Knight epic drawing video. I hope you have a minute to sit back and relax and enjoy this time lapse. Moon Knight is one of my favorite Marvel characters, obviously, if you couldn't tell. When my brother had me watch his TV show at first, I unfortunately really didn't see the hype until about the last episode. Then I was hooked. And then 2 weeks later, after not thinking about it for a long time, out of nowhere, I decided that I absolutely had to watch it. My brain gave me no choice. I was Moon Knight wired. I had to see it a second time, and here we are now. So of course, as I do now that I love a new show, I bought a comic book, I got up to date on that, and I started drawing a lot of pictures of Moon Knight. This one I'm doing right here is actually inspired by a composition I found on Pinterest, but of course I had to replace a couple things and add my own elements. And in my opinion, while there are still similarities, I think they look worlds different. This entire drawing probably took me 10 hours over the course of 2 sittings. Matter of fact, the switch between the next day is coming up right about now. My setup was pretty awful. I had a vertical box and a horizontal box and my iPad set up on that with the charger, which was super inconvenient. I kept it that way overnight between my sittings, and it was not the most ideal setup because it kept getting in my way and I kept bumping it, but we got it done, didn't we? This shows the lengths I'll go to get a time lapse out, even though I don't own a tripod at the moment. This drawing was super fun, and I found myself not making too many mistakes, and the mistakes that I did make were definitely fixable. If you look closely though, you can see me fighting with some whiteout on his arm at the top. So in this drawing, we got a couple Mr. Knight figures, as well as a couple classic Moon Knights. If you can count the amount of crescent moons total in the drawing, that would be pretty cool. Even I don't know how many there are, but there are plenty. And of course, after erasing all the pencil, it leaves a lot of dirty marks, so here we go cleaning my desk. And here we are finally filling in the large blocks of color. This part was honestly the most relaxing because I just found myself outlining the silhouettes of the characters or details and then just filling it in with a Sharpie. Now, the most stressful part was probably the fact that I ran through 3 Sharpies in this process, but there are always more. If I don't use the Sharpies, what's the point of having them? Definitely so much fun. The only thing that I found more fun was probably going in the final details at the end. But that's just me though, I'm always a sucker for the final details in art. So I always have a lot of trouble with text in my drawings, whether it's the big title text like this or even the small text in the speech bubbles towards the bottom. If you look a little too close, it is a little sloppy, so I'm definitely going to have to work on my writing part. But I still think it looks fine nonetheless. Alright, now I'm gonna finally shut my yap and let y'all enjoy the speed drawing. Alright, and about at this point, you start seeing me filling in the shading on the main characters. At this point, I'm essentially going in and blocking out heavy shadows, doing a little bit of hatching. If you look closely, now you can see that part that I messed up on that I was telling you about earlier up by his arm. But I decided to keep going for a little bit and come back to it later, as I usually do with mistakes on analog drawings, and oh, trust me, I do come back to it later. But here I go, waiting a little bit, processing, how am I gonna fix that? And then I just keep drawing again. You keep seeing me go back to fix it over and over again, but I do end up deciding to be patient, and I end up inking the rest of this figure first before going in on it. I really had a lot of fun drawing the fabric on his costumes, even though I usually am not big on fabric. This time I really enjoyed it. So now used to me working on Conchu down there in the bottom right corner. Fun fact about him, I didn't pull up a reference for him, I kinda just drew him straight out of my brain, which I'm usually not great with. Pretty much every other element had a reference. Because references are good. You can use references in art, it is okay. Just don't use the AI references. It's that easy. And now, the focal point of the entire drawing is coming together. The Mr. Knight at the bottom. Please enjoy the rest of this time lapse, and I hope you've had a wonderful day, and I hope you have an even better rest of your day today. Bye, guys. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the making of my moonlit drawing. As I said earlier, I hope you had a great day, and I hope your day only gets better from now.